Hey guys, welcome to the next video on shell scripting tutorial for beginners. In the last video we have seen how to use if statement, else statement and if else statement in shell script. Now in this video we will use those if statements to check for the file test operators. So let's get started. So for example, most of the times when you are writing shell script you are dealing with the files. And for example, if you want to check whether file exists or not, or if you want to check whether this file is a regular file or it's a block special file or it's a character special file or many other options, if you want to check, you can use these file test operator to check for those conditions. So let's see how we can use those conditions. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to echo statement. For example, I will say enter the name of the file, and for printing the input on the same line, I'm going to use \c, and this \c is used to keep the cursor on the same line after the end of the echo. Now in order to interpret this \c, you need to use the flag -e here. Now -e flag is used to enable the interpretation of this \. So otherwise, if you don't use -e, it's going to print this \c literally, but if you use -e with this statement, then it's going to interpret this \, and then it's going to keep the cursor on the same line as the echo command line, right? So write this, and then we are going to use the read command. So read, and then we want to read the file name, so just write file name, for example, and then we are going to use the if statement. So just use if, and then for if statement, what we use the square brackets, and then in the square brackets we will use a flag. For example, if we want to check whether the file exists or not, so there is a special flag called -e, and then the file name. So the file name is in the file name variable, so after dollar just use this, right? And then we use then, and then we need to use the echo command, for example. So we will just say if the file exists, we will print first of all the file name. So let's say this is the file name, and then we will just say file found, right? Otherwise, in the else condition, we will just write here in the else condition else, and then we will just say file not found, right? So same line, and then we will say not found, right? And then we will end the if statement by fi. Okay, so let's run this script and let's see what happens. So I'm going to just run my script and then press enter, and it's asked me enter the name of the file, and you can see the cursor is on the same line, which is due to this / and -e flag, right? So I'm going to give the name of the file which doesn't exist, for example abc or some random file name. Okay, and then press enter. It says this file name not found. Okay, now let me create a file. So I'm going to use touch command for this. So touch, for example, I'm going to name my file as test, for example. Okay, and then press enter, which is going to create this test file, and then I'm going to run the script once again, and then I'm going to write the name of the file, which is test, which I have created, and then press enter, and now it says test found, which is the test file which I have created. Okay, so this -e flag is used to check whether the file exists or not. Okay, now there are some other options also which we can use. So for example, to check whether the file, if it's a file or not, you can just use a flag called F. Okay, so E is for if the file exists or not. F is for the file exist and if it's a regular file or not. Okay, so let's use F and let's run the script once again, and once again we will just say test and then press enter, and it says test found, because we have created the regular file using the touch command, right? So F flag is for checking whether file exists and if it's a regular file or not, right? Now if you want to check for the directories, you can use the flag D. Okay, so let's run the script once again, and even if it's saying enter the name of the file, we are going to enter the name of the directory. For example, first of all, the directory name which doesn't exist, so dir, which doesn't exist on my folder or directory, and then press enter and it says dir not found. And let's create a dir directory, for example. So for this we will use mkdir command and then the name of the directory, for example dir once again. Okay, so this directory is created. Let's verify. So you can see this directory dir is created, right? So let's run the script once again and then once again give the name of the directory and then press enter and it says directory found. So -d flag is for checking whether the directory exists or not. So it's for checking the directories. Now there are some other flags which you can use. For example, there are two types of file basically. One is a block special file and other is a character special file. So a character special file is a normal file which contains some text or data or something like this. A block special file is a binary file, for example, or a picture file or a video file. It's a block special file. So a file which contains normal text or normal character, it's a character special file. And other files, for example video files or music files or image files, are block special files, right? So for block special file you can use the flag B, and for character special file you can use the file C. Okay, so for block special B and for character special the flag C. Now there is a flag which checks whether the file is empty or not. So for that you just need to use a flag called -s, and it checks whether our file is empty or not. So let's check. So I'm going to run the script once again, and then I'm going to give the name of the test file which we have created and then press enter, and it says file not found. And here we just need to write for example file not empty, and here we need to write file empty. Okay, so once again let's run the test, and we will give the file name test, which is empty, and it says text empty, right? So we can verify this by using ls -l command, for example, and you can see our test file is of size 0. You can see here, right? Now for example I will add some text to the file. For example, I will just use cat, and then I will use the cat text to the test file, right? And then press enter, and I will write something else, and then I'm going to press enter. And for exiting out of this cat command you use control D, and then once again let's do ls -l, and you can see now it has some data. This test file has some data. So let's run the script once again and use the file name, and now it says test not empty, right? So -s is for checking whether file is empty or not. Now there are some other flags also. For example, if you want to check whether your file has the read permission, then you can use minus R flag. If you want to check whether your file has the write permission, you use minus W. And if you want to check whether your file has the execute permission, then you can use the X flag for this. Okay, so these are some of the options which you can use to check for your file using if statement, for example. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and bye for now.